So I got my book published. I'm super pumped about that. So I think last week I had published the Kindle, but I was formatting the paperback. And so both of those are finished and ready to go on Amazon, which is amazing to say. And I am wanting to take a moment to celebrate and to relish the moment. There's a pattern, I don't know if you can relate to this, a pattern that I've had throughout my life where essentially I'm in survival mode, and there's an element of perfectionism, and so when I accomplish something, even, no matter how big it is, whether it's, getting a degree, finishing a certification program, getting a new job, moving to a new place, doing something new, buying a house, or finishing my book, I tend to okay, so that must not have been a really big deal because I just did it. And what's the next thing I need to do to, ensure survival, or just kind of carry on with life? And I don't take a minute and celebrate. And so my therapist actually kind of put the brakes on during our session yesterday, and reminded me that I wasn't I was already just moving way past it, and just didn't take a minute to to contemplate and pause and celebrate that achievement. So I want to take a minute now and just kind of reflect on that. That was something I started thinking about when I was working at the YMCA, my first fitness job, and I was probably there for a year or two, and I decided to create this class with fill-in-the-blank handouts, and it was I think a 2-hour class on positive life change, and I'd been reflecting on my own journey, not only my physical health, but my mental, emotional health, and doing brave things and things that scared me, that alarmed me, that were normal everyday things, but I just had been so trained that I was incapable and unable to do these things that it was overwhelming. And so I had pushed myself out of these comfort zones and pushed myself to rise up as the hero of my own story in a lot of different ways. And so I would have been mid late 20s, and so just within 5 years of having gotten away from my abusive home. And so I was experiencing better health, more strength, more energy. I was respected by my coworkers and clients, parents of kids I taught PE to. There was all these new experiences in my life, and I was fascinated, had been fascinated with the process of positive life change, and how do you become someone you've never been before, and how do you become someone you have never believed that you could be? How do you get to the place of experiencing a reality that you have never experienced before? And I realized that there were some big challenges, a lot of them internal to experiencing a new version of life. So I taught this 2-hour class on positive life change at the YMCA in the little classroom, and I remember thinking, I wish I could take this, or I should take this. I want to take this and all the normal little things that I tell all of my new training clients about fitness. And so the mental, emotional aspects of positive life change and the basics of fitness, so that everyone can get fit and healthy and live a more vibrant, fully alive life through simple changes, like not anything overwhelming, anything earth-shattering, anything monumental or massive, just simple adjustments to habits in order to experience a totally different life. And so since then, from that point, I was wanting to call that Keeping Fitness Simple. And I thought someday I'm going to write a book called Keeping Fitness Simple. And along the way, I realized, or I learned about being an empath and how much that defined me as a person. Amanda Flaker is my spiritual mentor. She is the one that helped me grow in my awareness of what it means to be an empath and how that impacts every aspect of my life. And then reading the book Complex PTSD by Pete Walker and being able to relate to everything he said in the book was my first clue that I might have complex PTSD. And I've been working with a good friend who's a clinical psychologist, and she's been taking me through these amazing exercises and practices to help me overcome some of those things. But yeah, all those years ago in my mid-late 20s, I remember thinking about, I want to write this book and share with people the simplicity of positive life change and how to overcome those challenges. And I did it, but I also realized that the empathy piece, being empathic, and learning how to deal with trauma were huge elements to my story that it took me a long time to embrace, to not be in denial of. So yeah, that's a huge thing. So I just want to take a minute and kind of celebrate that with all of you. I know that you guys have been with me through the journey, and I'm very grateful for that.